When people hear the phrase World War II nurse, they seem to think about nurses in a beautiful hospital in France they're wearing white dresses and white caps. They showed these pictures of women in tents as if they were having a slumber party. But when the 45th Field Hospital arrived at Normandy 4 days after D-Day, they were wearing 3-pound steel helmets, army fatigues. There were bodies rolling up in the surf. They were greeted by literally 17 truckloads of wounded soldiers.
On June 10, 1944, 18 women of the U.S. Army Nurse Corps jumped out of a landing craft in combat fatigues. They were the first nurses to step foot in France during World War II. In the months to come, these nurses toiled in obscurity, helping save the lives of wounded soldiers as American troops battled German forces. One such nurse would touch the hearts of thousands of American GIs like no other. Her name was Frances Slanger. She was the first American nurse to die after the landings at Normandy.
In Boston South End, she was known as the fruit peddler's daughter, but Frances Slanger wanted to be more than that. She wanted to make a difference in the world. And she joined the Army Nurse Corps and wanted to serve overseas on the front lines. And her supervisor said, no, you have bad eyesight. You need to stay stateside. But she talked her way into being overseas with the soldiers that she wanted to serve. That was her ultimate calling.
The 45th Field Hospital would travel 600 miles. They would treat nearly 5,000 patients and watch 223 soldiers die. It was 4 months into the journey that Slanger wrote a letter to Stars and Stripes magazine honoring the GIs.
Next morning, she mailed it. And the following night, after that, there was a German barrage, an enemy barrage of artillery, and some of the shells hit the 45th Field Hospital. 3 people were killed, a major, a private, and a second lieutenant nurse, Frances Slanger.
I remember that night very vividly, because my immediate commanding officer in my platoon was killed, and a couple of enlisted men were killed. Frances, it was terrible.
She was very bright. She was very quiet. She didn't really mingle real well with the nurses, but she had her own idea of what had to be done. She did what had to be done.
She was very serious, and she worried about the GIs, really. She was about, it bothered her, bothered her.
After the war in Europe ended, the U.S. dedicated a new hospital ship. It was named for a fruit peddler's daughter, a woman whose words breathed hope into hopeless soldiers, whose story is told in the new book, American Nightingale, whose legacy lives on, a quiet hero amid the tumult of war.